Hi, this is Kid Malik from Malik and Malik. I'm going to give you a little update on some information regarding how things are going to happen at the IC and the BWC in light of the current coronavirus pandemic in Ohio. I think one of the things, if you're receiving temporary total disability, one of the things you're always cognizant of is the expiration date on the Medco 14. Because the coronavirus is happening, there may be some folks who can't get into their doctors in time to get the extension on the Medco before it expires. In light of that, the current BWC policy, temporarily anyways, is if you can't get an updated Medco 14, as long as there's a C84 on file from you, the BWC will continue to pay temporary total disability. What I would do is, if you're not absolutely 100% sure there's a C84 on file, contact your claim rep. Otherwise, contact your attorney and then have them check it out. BWC, for the time being, will pay for telephonic office visits with your physician of record, with your BWC doctor. So if you can't make, if for whatever reason, and I think probably most, if not all, doctors and BWC doctors are doing their visits telephonically. Well, maybe not most, but I know some are. So some are doing them by WhatsApp or Skype. You might contact your office, see if that's happening. As you know, in Ohio, all elective surgeries are being postponed. So if you had some treatment that was authorized, if they consider elective surgery, probably gonna be postponed for the time being. I know, yeah, but some doctors telephonically, WhatsApp, Skype, whatever. Some doctors are not. You'll have to follow up with them. But there's that option. If there's any hearing that's scheduled, any hearing that you have with the industrial commission, that you'll get a notice in the mail. You would typically go to your industrial commission hearing office, depending on where the injury happened or where you live. If you went to Lima or Dayton or Cleveland or Columbus, usually you would go there physically to attend a hearing. Currently, because of the coronavirus, the IC's got skeleton crews. So when there's a hearing, the hearing officer he or she is physically going down to the industrial commission, sitting in the room, and what they're going to do is that hearing officer is going to call you. They're going to call your attorney. They're going to call the employer and employer's attorney, and the hearing is going to be conducted by phone. Currently, there will be no hearings regarding treatment requests or permanent partial disability C92 award hearings. So those are currently not occurring. Any treatment requests are being postponed or being continued. The hearings that will go forward are temporary total disability hearings, initial allowance hearings, MMI hearings, which I think isn't really fair. But if they find you MMI, they're going to terminate your TT. That's going to put you in a financial bind. But additional condition hearings, I believe wage loss hearings are going forward, and then permanent total disability hearings. So if you have a hearing that if you have an issue concerning one of those things, that'll go forward. Otherwise, if it had previously been scheduled, it'll be continued. So that's what's going on. And these hearings, I've had a few of them already. It's more or less like a normal hearing. It's a bit, you kind of lose something in translation because some people's phones connection's not great. You can't read what somebody's saying. They're maybe a little bit drier. Everybody has to. Usually, this way it works, anyways. You can only one person talks at a time, but this time it's almost like talking over walkie-talkie. So the other thing I'm gonna post the link to the BWC posted this coronavirus frequently asked questions page. The other issue is, some folks are like, hey, if I get the coronavirus, will it be covered as a BWC claim or BWC claim, and which would entitle me to receive benefits and treatment for that, coronavirus exposure. They're saying, I think this is going to be a mess, but they're saying if you work in a job that poses a special hazard or risk and contract COVID-19 from work exposure, BWC would allow your claim. Currently, only essential businesses are supposed to be operating. So, for instance, I am in my law office conducting legal business. I'm an essential business. I don't know. Does that mean I have a special hazard or risk? I'm not sure. If you work at a food place that provides carry out or delivery food options for customers, does that pose you as a special hazard or risk? Because otherwise, if you're not an essential business, you're not supposed to be in operation. It's kind of weird. It's a weird thing, but that's where it stands right now. Besides that, another thing that I found useful on this frequently asked question thing from the BWC is living maintenance payments will continue through April 30th, 2020. I guess even if you don't have all the paperwork and procedures going along with that. With the wage loss, if you're required to submit job searches, because if you're getting working wage loss, you'll know if this is a requirement of you. But those folks who are getting working wage loss, every week you have to submit like 15 or 20 job searches in order to continue to receive that working wage loss. That's being suspended through April 30th. And then all IMEs are being suspended. So all independent medical exams are being suspended currently, which is good on one hand, because if you had an extended disability 90-day exam that was scheduled, that's going to be postponed. A lot of times those 90-day exams are used to find that the person has reached maximum medical improvement. That's not going to be the case this time. So, until they have that 90-day exam, I suppose they could do a file review. Irregardless, those are being postponed. So that's kind of the updates I got going. I'm going to post as I get more useful information, more updates. I'll post those from the colleagues who also do workers' comp. I'll pass that information along to you. Malik and Malik itself, we are currently still in operation. We have a collection of folks continuing work in the office, and then we have some attorneys and office staff teleworking from home. If there's a document that you need signed, what we're doing currently is we're locking the door. It doesn't mean we're not here. Any kind of appointment or discussion that can be had over the phone, we're going to do that. If you want to hire us, you could still hire us. We'll still get involved in your claim. We're going to have you sign the settlement or the sign-up documents, and then we'll send those in. But we're as much as we can, we're going to limit our person-to-person contacts. We have a few folks who fall in those vulnerable categories for coronavirus exposure, so we want to try to protect them while allowing them to continue work. So if you have a settlement document or settlement paperwork that you need signed, what we're going to have you do is come to the office, call us. We're going to take the settlement paperwork out to you. Hopefully, we'll be done with this coronavirus thing sooner than later. It's one of those scary things that everybody's going to have to deal with. So in the meantime, if you have any workers' comp questions, if you have a new work injury you want to pursue, anything, as always, call. You could email me. I'm pretty responsive through email. Whether we represent you or not, we'll try to at least point you in the right direction. Otherwise, stay safe, stay healthy, and hopefully we all make it through this with as little as damage as possible. Okay? All right. Thank you.